Hey everyone, this is Tell the Truth Sports Radio. I'm going to tell you the truth about the Kyrie Irving situation that's been in the news all week. He decided that he's not going to take the vaccine, even though in New York City there's a vaccine mandate. And the Nets took a stand saying, listen, you can't play at all if you don't take the vaccine. Because at first they said, well, you can play the games on the road, but they say, we need team chemistry. I want to tell you something right now. I have Kyrie Irving's back. No one does. J.R. Smith and Draymond Green. Shout out to those guys. They have his back. And even LeBron said, it's a personal choice until they jumped all over him. He had to just say, I'm not in. I'm not a part of this. So he bounced. But J.R. Smith and Draymond Green had his back. I will say this. I don't think LeBron James and a lot of the players want to just take it. You cannot force a vaccine on an entire nation like what's going on. You can't say, listen, I'm going to take your money away. I'm going to take your job away. You know what? You don't take this jab. You're going to pay for this. Now, listen, I'm not anti-vax. If that's what you need to do to stay healthy, or if you feel like you don't have to take it, or you may have allergic reaction to it, or your immune system is where you need to be, so you don't feel like you need to, that's your choice. It's your body. You need to know your blood type. You need to know your pressure. You need to know where your sugar levels are. You need all that's more important. Number one is to be healthy. But if you're not healthy and you need to take it, I understand that. But a lot of these athletes are like, why do I need to take it? Look at my immune system. This is where I am. Kyrie Irving's a highly intelligent young man. He wants to know more. He wants to hey, I want to know more. Don't force this on me. No, take it. No. I need to know more. He didn't say he was against it. He wants to know why you're so hell-bent on trying to force it down. Well, safety. I got it. I get it. But anything that's forced, my antennas go up. You just can't force a vaccine on a free country like the United States of America. I understand what the politicians want to do. I always leery when they talk about safety, because my trust level in the Republican or Democratic Party is non-existent. So we started from that standpoint. Oh, make up your mind. You're this stupid. No. I do extensive studying. I enjoy doing a sports show, but as far as life, as far as different historical issues, I've been studying history all my life. I study different issues. I'm not super well versed like doctors and chemists when it comes to vaccines, but I understand the human nature. You do not force another person to go against what their body is. And this is what I like what Kyrie Irving said. Nobody should be forced to do something in their body that they don't want. You got to do what's best for you and your family. And then he talked about the finger pointing and the judgment, how he was attacked. I'm not going against the vax or anti-vax, because I believe it's a free choice. I'm against mandates and I'm against the system. I'm not against you're worried about the public safety and the health issues. I understand that. And if I understand if people see this YouTube, they're like, oh, come on, man. You're unenlightened. I got the vaccine. It's fine. Okay, cool. That's not my point. My point is the system. I got an issue with the system, and I got an issue with the critics. The system is wrong when you now, if you say, listen, we strongly advise you to take the vaccine because of the public health, because of these are the results of the vaccine, and it lessens all the symptoms of the COVID-19. Okay, if you do that. But if you say, listen, we're going to start taking jobs away, we're mandating, look at what's going on Southwest Airlines. And I despise talking politics on a sports show, but because of these issues, it kind of forces me to have to talk about that. And I'm a truth teller. I believe in right and wrong, first of all. And it's wrong. As a person of faith, it's wrong to force something on somebody else, okay? That's number one. Number two, the way Kyrie got sold out by the fake civil rights activists at the Walt Disney Channel and a lot of athletes or former athletes, it's somewhat comparable to what Muhammad Ali went through. I'm not saying it's the exact parallel, but I see similarities when Ali was attacked and they were calling him Clay. And some of these former athletes, and I'm not going to name names, but you know who you are, is acting like the one guy. If you ever see Ali in this 1968, 67, when they stripped him of the title, and they always show this one guy that they talked to. He was I don't know if he's a veteran or not, and Ali wouldn't go to the Vietnam War. This one guy said, hey, this Clay or Muhammad or whatever they want to call him, not wanting to go to Vietnam, he's a disgrace to the nation. See, you're that guy. I understand you're faking like you're this pro-black, pro-civil rights guy. You're not that guy. Because it's easy to take a popular stance, anti-police. We all did. We all got mad what happened with George Floyd. It's easy to take a stance where you're not going to get criticism. And you could be in your little comfort zone when you're on code, you're go along, get along, you're with that crew, and you're following everything that society is telling you, which is the good and obedient thing. Because Kyrie was cool last year when he's talking about different social justice issues. But what I liked about Kyrie, he strayed from that and started talking about things that these fake activists don't talk about. It's education. And I said, okay, I'm going to listen to Kyrie. Kyrie's kind of a different dude. And now that he's taking it, I'm not taking a vaccine stance, now that's unpopular. And athletes don't do that. These Walt Disney fake activists will never, ever stray from their overlords that are pulling their strings. And these gatekeepers are being sent out after Kyrie, and they're coming after him hard. And Kyrie's not that. Maybe he will take the vaccine and change his mind. Maybe he won't. He doesn't seem like the type of guy you can bully and push around and talk about and trash like a dog, call him stupid when he's not. Just despicable stuff that I heard on the air. And I had to turn off sports radio this week. I don't want to hear it anymore. Oh, you're a terrible person for not taking. It's not about taking days off. This is about what you're concerned about, what's going in your body. And I'm gonna give you pros and cons. I talked to a young lady who was a chemist and is pro-vaccine, giving me every single facts about how important it is that you need to take it. And when she had COVID and how it helped her cope with it. I got that. All right. But it's not the 100% fallible system, because Brandon Goodwin of the Atlanta Hawks now has blood clots. I know this is not going on the news, but do your own research. He has blood clots. He's on the Atlanta Hawks. He cannot play this year after he was forced to take the vaccine. Now, what if because every single human being on this earth is different. And you need to know your body before you do anything. You need to know the facts. Okay, my blood type. Where's my pressure? Where's my sugar? What do I need to take this? I don't need to take this. Okay, I'm not taking it. I need to take it. It's every individual. It's not an entire country to just take it and just whatever results happen. Because I tell you what could happen. You can have forced vaccines, and a lot of times people are taking the vaccines, they're still getting the virus. It's one thing if there's this infallible system, but it's not. And Kyrie's like, he's telling you it's not. It's not that he's being this jerk and trying not to be a bad teammate. He's just saying, listen, let's do your own research on your own body. That's all. You know, I knew somebody where the doctor told the young lady, the older lady, not to take it. and she took it, and it was a bad reaction. Okay, so everybody's different. But what upsets me, like I said, is the system and the critics. And this is I'm gonna give y'all a warning too. When you listen to this video, I'm like, oh, I lost respect for you because you're not pro-vax and you're not saying he should take it, and you don't know the facts. You sound stupid. You just said, if you come at me disrespectful or condescending or arrogant, that's not a good idea. I'm gonna come at you, and it's not gonna be nice. I'm not gonna be Mr. Nice Guy on that situation. I'm warning you right now. Okay. But if you want to talk to me, say, this is why I think you're wrong, and let's agree to disagree. Okay, and I listen. I'm a seeker. I'm always seeking the truth. That's why my show is called Tell the Truth Sports Radio. But if you come at me disrespectful and condescending and idiotic because I said things on this show and I talked about obedience and disobedience to and compliance, and I'm not compliant, and you're saying I'm this and that, keep it moving. And if you want to unfriend me, keep it good. That's fine. And if you don't want to hear the truth, this show's not for you anyway. But I'm very proud of Kyrie, and I got his back. And I'm going to be in studio, I believe, in November in New York. So he's welcome to come on. I'm going to have a guest on who defended Kyrie, showed his video, one of my buddies, and we're going to talk. And I got his back all the way. And and it's not a popular stance. So this is going to offend people who maybe took it and might not understand it. If you're emotional, don't talk to me. If you're rational and you have the motor skills, and you don't act like a third grader, you want to talk to me, that's fine. I'm open to conversations. But if you're saying you're an idiot for saying this and not tear it into Kyrie, no. And you know what? Everybody say, oh, we got to defend the black man. Okay. Where y'all at now? This is an issue. Defend him. You turned on him. These so-called, like I said, these so-called people that got the slogans and shirts, even the WNBA, where are the WNBA players? He donated $1.5 million to the WNBA. Where's your voice? Because they walk out. I walk out because the way Kyrie's treated. I'll be like, I'm stationed to walk out the WNBA finals. But everyone's silent. Interesting. Very, very interesting when it comes to a real issue dealing with a real black man. Now what? Now what you're going to do? Quiet. Yeah. It's crickets. Wow, what a first game one between the Sox and Astros. Two teams that hit the ball hard, make a lot of contact, put a lot of pressure on the pitchers, and that game didn't disappoint. The Astros just finished winning 5-4. They came out strong, took a 1-0 lead. Red Sox, after a bad error by Altuve, the Red Sox up 3-1. And a lot of times in these games, ever since like 2004, the Red Sox have always gone on the road. Once they get the lead, they close. They keep the lead and they end up winning. But this year's different. They blew 2 leads against Tampa. And they blew this lead. Altuve mashed the ball off Tanner Houck, who was a hero of the Tampa series, but not this time. He got the ball up. And Altuve is a short guy, but he loves to tomahawk the ball out of the stadium. out of the ballpark when he gets a fastball up, and he didn't miss. 3-3. I said, wow. If when Houston's at home and they're even, they're usually leaving, and they were leaving. And Carlos Correa left the park with a long home run off Robles in the 7th, and he hit it. He knew it was gone. He right in front of the catcher. He's pointing to his wrist. Yeah, he's like, I know what time it is. He's profiling around the bases because he pointed to his wrist. Hey, it's my time, bro. It's late in the game. This is what I do. Okay. The only and they end up winning because they got an extra run in the ninth, and they needed it. And I'm looking, I'm saying it's 4-3. They better get a run because Kiki Hernandez is leading off, and I said this guy's gonna homer or get a single or he's going to get on base or he'll homer. You don't want it to be a run lead. And they scratched out a sacrifice fly. I said this big. Kiki Hernandez comes up and hits his second home run. It's like he's batting 1,000 in the postseason. He is just making diving plays, making great plays. Almost threw the runner out in the ninth inning. Made a great play. He is on another level, but it wasn't enough, and the Astros end up winning. This is going to be a series where the home team has a slight advantage. Both teams really hit. They have a lot of relievers. Their starting pitcher is pretty good, but Houston being home is big. I don't know. I don't think they're doing what they did before with the cheating and all that nonsense. No, but Dusty Baker, I can't think that a guy like Dusty Baker would allow that, but they're tough at home. With the crowd, that crowd is, because it's a dome stadium and the Astrodome was loud. This park is loud. It's going to be a fight. It's going to be a rock fight because the following game, both teams are going to go right back at it. I give the Astros credit. I think the Astros are a little better because the back end of their lineup I like better than the Red Sox. I just do. It's just Yuri Gurriel is on the back end. He was the batting champ. He's batting 6, I believe. And then they're just better. Brantley, they're just gonna do what they have to do. And Correa is a star. I don't respect what they did in 2017, but they're really good. That's why I don't respect what they did, because Altuve and Correa are superstars, and Bregman. These guys, it's hard to get them out. So there's no need for the nonsense. But, they're on a mission. I just believe that it's their time, and they're on a mission to take care of Boston and maybe get a game in Fenway. They're not scared to go to Fenway. Now, Boston's not scared to play in Houston, but they're not afraid to go to Fenway. Whose closer gets beat? Because both closers are a little on the shaky side. I just feel like the depth of the lineup that the Astros bring to the table is going to be just enough. And it could go, it could go 7. Shoot. You never know. It could go 7. I mean, you're talking about Alvarez, Correa, Tucker, Gurriel, Maldonado, McCormick. That's a problem. That is a problem, man. Game 2 is going to be fascinating because it'll be right away. Luis Garcia versus Baldy, and the Sox better win that game because I give him the credit. The edge of Baldy. He was lights out against the Yankees. He was solid against the Rays. He's got to do it again in the Astrodome. That's what's going to be fascinating. I think this is going to be a fun series. It could go long. It depends on if the Red Sox win this game. If they don't, of course the Red Sox could go get 3 in Fenway or 2 out of 3 and push it to the 6th game. But if they don't, it's problematic because I believe their Astros will get 1 game in Fenway and then get them out in 6. Oh, man, the Dodgers and the Giants, it went the way it was supposed to go. They battled all year, both 100-win teams. The Dodgers chased the Giants, couldn't catch it. The Giants were relentlessly pursuing the division title. They got the home field. This is what they wanted. Game 5 in San Francisco. The chance to hurt and break the Dodgers' heart again like they did in 51-62. But this time it didn't happen because of the single heard around the world. We heard the homer heard around the world in 51, but this had a different outcome. The hero of this series, it was for the Dodgers was Will Smith, of course. Urias, who went 4 innings and struck out 5 in relief, and then won game 2 to stabilize the Dodgers. Will Smith, but the biggest hero was Mookie Betts. I tell you, I was a Chicago Cubs fan, and I knew that Boston wasn't going to sign him. I wanted him so bad, and then I heard the Dodgers got him. I said, "That's a championship. That's a championship." And they won last year, and they're looking to try to do it again. He batted 450, in the series, and a 600 slugging percentage, and he was on base. He was the one guy to hit Logan Webb, because Logan Webb was almost unhittable. Again, he wasn't as super dominant as a game 1. He was smart. And what he did, instead of just killing him with the slider, he pounded him with the fastball, and the Dodgers were not used to him coming like that, because in the first game, he was throwing an exploding slider that was unhittable, but he changed up and threw the fastball when the Dodgers were waiting for a slider. But it didn't matter with Mookie Betts. He got on base all the time, got a single, stole the base. Corey Seager hit the ball where it was placed on the outside corner, went with it to left field for a double. They score. Then Huff gets a home run for the Giants to tie it up in the 6th. So now it's on. And Urias, when the Giants said the Giants could get a run and get the lead, the pressure would be on the Dodgers and the Giants will win. But what happened? Urias came in there and got 4 innings. And then Jansen with an inning. So it's tied the whole time. After both teams scored in the 6th, and then in the 9th, Turner gets hit. That's the one they'll want back. Turner has been struggling, and Duvall was in as relief, and he's inexperienced. And I'm watching this, I'm thinking, this guy's inexperienced. This is the biggest game of his life. This is game 5, the deciding game, and he's in here, and he's been lights out. But this is a Dodgers opportunity, and Gavin Lux, who is been great. I didn't know he was this good, and he's been off the bench because of Muncy and all the other starters who play great. But this kid is serious. Got a single, and then Corey Bellinger, who looked bad at the play, he strikeouts. He's the type of guy. I won't say he's Reggie Jackson, but Reggie was strikeout. Then when the game was on line, he'd get a homer or he did whatever he had to do to win. And this is what I'm noticing about Bellinger. And Bellinger got the single, scored the run. And then Max Scherzer came in there. And it was an error on, well, before that happened, that bunt, Chris Taylor, with an opportunity to get another run, he decides, instead of getting a sacrifice fly, tries the bunt, pops in the air, and that could have cost him. And then Trey Turner's error could have cost him. But the Dodgers figured it out, and Scherzer was dealing, struck out Flores. And, yeah, it was a check swing, and it should have been strike 3. But listen, I'm going to keep it real. He was getting Flores out. He was dealing. He was going to get Flores out. He probably would have struck Flores out anyway. And I got the picture of the one player in the Giants that got the check swing call, even though he went around, and then Flores, who didn't. It's that close. And it's just bad call that went the Giants' way that helped them win the division. Bad call that went the Dodgers' way to help them get to the division series. But listen, the Dodgers are a slightly better team than the Giants. This is the truth. I'm going to bring the truth. They're younger. They hit a little better, because but other than Buster Posey and Chris Bryant, nobody hit on the Giants consistently. They didn't hit at all. And the Dodgers had just enough clutch hitters, because after game 1, the Giants didn't hit in game 2. They didn't hit in game 3. That was a weird game where the wind was blowing, and Longoria had his one moment and hit a home run. Scherzer was amazing, and he got his revenge because he had 10 strikeouts in that 3rd game that he could have won. They didn't have any. They had runners on base and didn't get any clutch hits in game 4, same in game 5. And the Dodgers move on and they get the Giants back for 51 in 1962. And now it's the single heard around the world by Bellinger, and the Giants win in Frisco, take care of business. And now it's a new era. And now it's a new moment in this rivalry, and it goes the Dodgers' way this time. And they're going to move on to play the Braves. Before I get into that, the Giants, who are an older team, played out of their minds this year. I don't know if they're going to come back next year because they're going to be on everyone's Super Bowl now. I don't know if they can keep Chris Bryant. You don't know what Posey's going to be healthy. Yeah, Logan Webb. They got some good young pitchers, though. I do like that. But the Giants, you look at 2010, 2012, 2014, they always found ways to win these kind of games. And they always had that ability to come through in the clutch. And ever since then, they have not. Look at 2016 against the Cubs. Look at against the Dodgers. They used to be just a problem at home, and they used to just deliver the goods on the road and win. They can't do that anymore. They haven't had that, for lack of a better word, magic that they had in 10 and 12 and 14. And the Dodgers have it right now, and they're healthier than the Braves. The Braves are pitching Charlie Morton and those cats are, and Will Smith, the reliever, is pitching well. Without some of their star players who are injured, it's going to be a little bit of a problem. Kunle out. Soler is out now. I don't know if it's the COVID virus, but they say it's an illness. He's out. They pitched well against the Brewers, but the Brewers have holes in their lineup. The Dodgers, I don't know if Muncie's coming back, but with Lux, the way he's playing, and it seems like they're getting better each series. And there was a lot of pressure to get through the Giants because they were chasing a lot of pressure to beat the Cardinals, which they had trouble with. And the Braves are going to want revenge, but I just don't think they're healthy enough. And the Dodgers will figure out a way to take care of business and move on to the World Series. Now, would surprise me if the Braves got revenge and pitched like crazy, but I'm just going by the health. And it just seems like it's the Dodgers' time to get there. Like the NFL, college football, there's one big matchup. There are a lot of good games, but there's one really big matchup. There's undefeated Georgia, undefeated Kentucky. And Georgia's the clear number 1 team now in the nation, going to go up against a hot Kentucky team. And I'm going to give you an analogy here, boxing analogy. This game is a great heavyweight champ versus a great light heavyweight champ. And the heavyweight champ is Georgia, the bigger physical team, but Kentucky's physical too. And Kentucky has the leading rusher in the SEC in Chris Rodriguez. This guy can ball, fast, physical, in between tackles, can run. Wendell Robinson can ball. This guy makes play after play. And Will Levis is a playmaker quarterback that could run too. So they got a nice offense. The problem is Georgia is only allowed 33 points this year. They allow in 3.5 yards per play. So you're not getting the ball down the field because you don't have time. You're not running the ball because obviously 3.5. You're not even getting 5 yards on drives. That is a historical so far. Kentucky's going to compete, I think, for a half because of their defense and how they can deal with Georgia, which is not easy because it's not the receivers. Because if the receivers start playing well, if you're not beating them, period. That's not happening. But their tight ends, they got the best 1-2 punch tight ends in the nation, and Brock Bowers and Darnell Washington, who's a big, with the number 0, big, strong tight end, makes plays. Brock Bowers has 4 TDs so far this year, 315 yards and 20 receptions. So Georgia, is not super explosive, but they do what they have to do. Now, what Kentucky has to do is Levin's got to have the game of his life. They're going to have to pass the ball. And occasionally they'll get some running plays off, but they're going to have to pass the ball. They're going to have to get Georgia to turn Georgia over, and they're going to have to make Stetson Bennett and those passes. They can't let Zeus Weiss get rolling. If he gets running and their Titans get the ball, they're going to blow Kentucky out of Sanford Stadium in Georgia. But I think what's going to happen is Georgia will make enough plays that you're running into a brick wall, because Kentucky's strength is Georgia's strength. Their strength is we could run and push you around like we did at LSU. It's not happening against those big monsters at Georgia. Georgia will win by a touchdown or two. I think Kentucky competes because they have one of the best coaches in the country in Mark Stoops. But Kirby Smart and his guys are going to come away with the W and continue to march on. All right, the NFL report. There was a lot of B-level matchups, C matchups. This is an A-plus matchup. There's one of them, and that's the Chargers and the Ravens. And this is offense versus offense, which is surprising because both between Judon and a couple of the star players, because Ravens have injuries in the secondary, but they still have some star players on their side of the ball. Chargers got Bosa and their safety and all the good players they have on that side. But neither defenses, they're not good on a run. Baltimore, they usually stop the run, but they're giving up 4 yards a carry. And you saw what Cleveland did to the Chargers last week. Their run defense is not great. Their pass defense is not great. Chargers pass defense, they're giving up 9 yards per attempt. So that's almost a first down every time you throw the ball against the LA Chargers. And the Ravens defense is bad because Carson Wentz lit them up for 400 yards, but both these quarterbacks threw for almost 400 yards. Jackson did, Herbert almost did. They're just balling out of their minds. With the Chargers have to defend Lamar Jackson. The whole scheme is around him and his playmaking, like a point guard. He's like a Chris Paul that kind of does a little of everything. Or maybe I would say Russell Westbrook, who would average a triple-double. He's a triple-double type of guy because he's not super duper accurate, but he's a lot better thrower than last year. You saw the plays he made in the Colts game. The Colts choked, and the Ravens stole the game, which regular season, steal them. Take them. They all count as wins. Mark Andrews and Hollywood Brown are his guys. He's looking for those guys in the middle of the field. I still don't know. Excuse me. I still don't know if he can throw the ball on the sideline. But you don't have to when Brown and Andrews are always getting open, and you're so terrified of him coming out of – if your defensive line over pursues and goes past where Lamar Jackson's starting point is as far as him in the pocket, he's going to run, and he's going to pick up yards. He's going to make moves, and he could go the distance. It's not that he's going to pick up 10. He might pick up 50. So that's in the back of your head. And if he goes to scramble and your linebackers come up to try to stop him, he could stop on a dime and throw the ball to Hollywood Brown, who could get big chunk yards. So I think the league is lucky that they're not running the ball other than Lamar. And that's the Chargers' big hope. They don't deal with Hunt and Chubb with chunk yards. But the three-headed monster that the Chargers present the Ravens going to have to stop these guys or contain them. That's the key to this game because Herbert is a great thrower of the ball. Lamar Jackson's electrifying, and he's a good thrower of the ball. Justin Hubert is a great thrower of the ball at his young age. And he's got Mike Williams and Keenan Allen out there. They could go deep. They could run their routes. You got Cook at tight end. They're all big. Everybody, and they play physical. Also, Eckler's a physical running back that can get you some chunk yards. But what the Ravens better watch out for is the Chargers. You saw what happened with the Colts with Taylor getting the screen pass and going 80 yards for a touchdown. The Chargers are one of the best screen pass teams in the league. And Eckert is at the forefront. And that's going to be the key for the Baltimore Ravens to be able to stop that. I like the Chargers in a last-second field goal. But this comes down to who has the ball last. Now, if the Ravens have the ball last, the Ravens are going to win the game. I'm banking on the Chargers having the ball last, and they're going to win the game. But I'm telling you, I'll pick them in a razor. It could be 31-30, or it could be 31-30 Baltimore. I'm saying the Chargers will have the ball last, and they'll move down the field to win. But I'm telling you right now, I'll pick the Chargers. But my disclaimer is if Baltimore has the ball last, they're going to win. But I'm banking on the Chargers having the ball last and coming out with the W and staying in first place in the AFC.